Welcome back to Estadio Caliente. Ap18 taking on Cruz, the final match of match day 4 in Liga MX. One side have designs on top of the table. Cruz, a victory today would see them finish the weekend 2 points clear of everybody else. They would be the only remaining team with a 100% record in Liga MX. On the other side of things, the Xolos, they are looking to pick up their second victory of the season. And it's a home slanted start for them, Kurt. The third of 4 games at home, and they really have to take advantage of that, picking up points today.
Absolutely. I mean, especially last week with getting the red card and only getting 1 point out of the game. Today, Xolos wants to take advantage of that home field crowd, that home field advantage that they've been so dominant with as of, history of the club. And they want to go out and do a great job and give themselves 3 points tonight.
Here we see the standings. America with 9 points. Pumas topped the table, but they were held earlier today, which means Cruz can leapfrog them in the standings. Santos Laguna and Monterrey also on 9 points, but they've all played a game more than Cruz Azul. The bottom of the standings, Xolos currently down in 12th position. Number of clubs on 4 points. Chuca and Xolos, the two sides with just 1 point on the season so far. Xolos, the obvious incentive is to jump into that top half of the standings and put themselves in those playoff positions.
And they'll want to get, have a good start in this game this evening, get themselves on the right foot, put Cruz Azul on their heels right from the beginning.
One loss on the campaign so far for Xolos. Both of the home matches, they picked up 4 points from the 2 games, including a victory against Chivas, where they had goals from Lucero and Nacho Rivero. Cruz Azul efficient at both ends. 5 goals scored, 0 conceded, 9 points picked up from 3 games.
Yeah, both teams have very, very potent attacks, so it's going to be enjoyable to watch, and we'll see how the synthetic turf has an impact on that.
Luis Enrique Santander, a match referee, blows his whistle. It is Xolos who kick things off, attacking from left to right, immediately closed down by Cruz Azul. Club that seems reborn. They finished 12th in the Clausura. Pedro Caixinha was kept on as manager. Ricardo Elias comes in, and the man who worked wonders at Club America, who was a commentator for a while, trying to take our job. He's gone back to club duties, and immediately he's had an impact at Cruz Azul.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice to see when they're patient with coaches, because in Mexico they go through coaches very, very quickly. And this, starting last year they weren't good. This year they're really good.
Nice little ball in behind. Early chance here for Xolos. What a save for the goalkeeper. And Bolaños blasts it well over. Corona came out, narrowed the angle. Big opportunity for Diego Coca's men. One they probably should have taken.
Ball played back and in behind. Good opportunity here right away for Xolos, and Bolaños just got to do a better job of striking that ball solidly. As we see here, the strike right into the goalkeeper's chest.
Bulo getting forward from that left wing position. The opportunity, not quite to the pace of the game just yet. Xolos on the front foot here, looking for another opportunity to win possession back through former Cruz Azul man. A couple of players on either side playing against their former clubs. There's the goal scorer last week, although not by a massive deflection. Still claiming the goal nonetheless. It was a big goal. Xolos showing a little bit of spirit, a little bit of grit in that game. Down a man, down to Leon, but still found a way to get something from it. bit theatrical from Nacho Rivero as he goes to ground on that one.
Yeah, he was trying to sell that. It's always a feeling out process in the beginning of the game. You got to get to know the referee and his style. And then in this particular game, the ball's bouncing all over the place with this turf field. The handball there.
Strong challenge defensively. Aguilar, his success in his time. Xolos conceding just 12 goals in 17 matches in the Clausura. He was a big part of that. One of the big reasons why Cruz Azul brought him across to shore up their leaky defense. Not only has he played well, but he's brought the best out of Julio Cesar Dominguez as well. Mendes. Another chance. What a bad delivery across. Was there a push in the back? Ap18 went down. Half-hearted appeals, mostly from the travelling fans. Alvarado.
Who is playing in a central position. He's normally a winger by trade, but tonight playing in a central position for Cruz Azul.
Down to the side last week for that big win against Tigres. They played that extra midfielder, so kind of figuring out beforehand exactly what this formation would be. We see that potential push in the back.
Yeah, it's definitely soft. They're trying to go down, try to sell early in the game. Sometimes the referees are overzealous and they'll make those calls.
Free kick this time going in favor of Cruz Azul. Aldrete going down. I think he's mentioning his push in the back, but the bigger talking point, the one just a moment ago. Not much difference between the two, Kurt, but they don't tend to give them inside the penalty area.
Exactly. We're seeing early in this game, Cruz Azul is trying to get used to the surface. They're playing very direct. They don't want to get caught playing with the ball out of the back. They're being very conservative, intelligent with their start to the game.
Corona with the clearance. Chance to break here for Rivero on this right-hand side. Got forward a number of times last week. A couple of goal-scoring positions as well. Uruguayan. Get a look at Diego Conca. On the other side of things, Pedro Caixinha. I think it's safe to say he was happy to get out of Scotland, Kurt. It didn't quite go according to plan at Rangers.
Sometimes it doesn't work out. He's done a nice job so far this season, Cruz Azul.
Great success in the past in Liga MX as well, of course. Manager with a very good track record. Those challenging for that one. And there's Alvarado just barreling in. The referee's whistle went for. Nice touch forward from Martin Lucero. Bolaños. That one will go out of play. And it was Luis Fuentes trying to get forward from left back. Get another look at that push from that angle.
No
Outside
chance.
the box, they might give it.
No chance. Although we've seen these called before.
I'm guessing if you were a coach, you might have been up on your feet on that one, if that was your team.
Absolutely.
Mendoza against his former club. Was back in possession. Look at the player forward looking for Bolaños again. That was strong contact with Aguilar. Yellow card has been shown. Bolaños coming across, apologizing.
Yeah, he got him. Got him with the elbow.
Paraguayan international has been sensational to start the Apertura.
You see Bolaños' arm coming up, hitting Pablo Aguilar right in the cheek. Welcome to the game. Usually it's the defender doing it to the attacking player. In this instance, Bolaños is doing it to Pablo Aguilar. Ball's been out of bounds a lot. There's been a lot of stoppages. You know, I think any part of the game is going to take a little while for this game to settle down. Once the nerves, the energy start to calm down, we'll see a little bit more of a flow of play and a little bit more of the style of play of each team.
Trying to close down. To get that ball off his feet, the goalkeeper. We've seen early on Cruz Azul picking up points. There are some that missed out on the playoffs in the Clausura last season. From what you've seen so far, a team that can challenge for a title this campaign?
Absolutely. They have enormous striking power, and they're in a situation where all their attacking players are scoring goals. So the coach has, you know, a lot of options. There's options off the bench tonight. You have Milton Caraglio, who's got 2 goals, who isn't even starting. So they're and they have enormous depth. So they're a team that could make a run, but just like any season, they got to make sure they continue to do well. They've had 3 good games. We'll see if they can have a 4th good game here tonight.
Some of those new signings having instant impact, that man included, Elias Hernandez. 1 goal and 2 assists so far for him. Play on both the right and left-hand side of the attack. Coming in from the left to start this one. Noveno having a smile and a laugh with the referee. You like to see that from players and officials. Don't often see it.
First couple games of the season, both of these teams have been very, very good on attacking set pieces. So this will certainly be a big part of the game this evening.
Hernandez looking to deliver towards the far post. Well defended initially. Ball played all the way back in. Is there a chance to get that cross? A couple of players inside the area for Gerardo Flores. Well defended again from Xolos. Be another chance from a set piece.
Adrian Aldrete seems to take a lot of these with his left foot. He's coming all the way across the field. Cruz Azul normally sends 5 players into the box, all aggressive with their runs.
Aldrete, for the delivery. Lahud comes out, strong punch, only as far as the edge of the box, and that one closed out. Perhaps a chance to break here for Bolaños, and it was a poor touch from the striker. He had 2 teammates either side of him looking to launch an attack. He might get a second opportunity. Once again, Xolos stopped as they looked menacing going forward. Mendes.
We get a good look at Pedro Cucina right here. It's a very good start to the season. As we had said earlier in the telecast, he had a poor start last year's campaign.
Elias Hernandez trying to drive forward on that one. Mendes. Playing back centrally through Rafa Baca. Actually played college soccer at Loyola Marymount in Los Angeles. He went to MLS.
He had a really good career for himself, playing in the Mexican League day in and day out.
Well played across, and this one will make its way through for Lahud.
And you'll see that a lot. Gerardo Flores coming forward. He likes to attack in that outside position. You see him getting on the end of a cross here.
Goalkeeper well positioned. Xolos has been strength in depth defensively, losing Aguilar, but Velasquez, the former Cruz Azul man, comes in to take his position. Alongside Juan Carlos Valenzuela, Mendoza coming in as well. Bad setting on a Sunday evening, is it?
Yeah, it's
Alvarado. Ball playing back inside. Brete trying to get forward on the left. And another errant back pass. Bolaños, not a player you want to play those kind of passes around. Very pacey attacker. Lucero going down now. He wants the free kick. Referee says nothing doing.
I always say unnatural things happen when you're playing on an unnatural surface, synthetic. You got to be really crisp and clean. You got to be sure with those passes, because a lot of those passes end up being errant, and all of a sudden it's a scoring opportunity for the other team.
Almost sometimes teams have to adjust the way they play because of the surface that they're playing on.
Absolutely. I mean, Cruz Azul had done a pretty good job early in the game being smart and making sure they're not losing the ball in their half of the field. And just there, they got away with it.
Touchdown from Lucero, who was coming back from an offside position.
It's hard for the viewers to understand that, but when you're playing on the synthetic turf, and in the Mexican League, they don't allow you to wet the surface. It makes for a very choppy game. The ball bounces, does unnatural things.
Confirmation that Lucero was coming back from an offside start. Knocked that one in for Bolaños, who's a little bit more central today, Miller Bolaños. Long ball goes through to nobody in particular.
You have to respect that speed of Bolaños. He's got very good pace. And, you know, in these hot nights in Mexico, as the game wears on, and Cruz Azul's attacking, we'll see if he can get in behind the defense.
Possession back here, looking to play that one forward for Caparuccio. Ball's going to come to this far side for Gerardo Flores. Veteran Mexican international. Forward for Caparuccio. Good defending. Carlos Valenzuela. He thought he'd won a throw in as well. Goes the other way. It will be Flores on it. Flores towards that near post, a little flick, and Xolos once again have the chance to break. Looking to find Lucero. For Mendoza.
Diego Coca looked to be really animated on the sideline there. He's upset with a couple of his players.
Very animated last week as well, but I'm sure very relieved at that final whistle. When he went down a man and then down a goal, he would have been forgiven for thinking his team wouldn't have been able to get anything from it.
It's a worse feeling, you know, as a coach, when you lose a player. You know, it changes the whole nature of the game. Difficult challenge for them to be down a goal with 10 men and coming back and tying the game at home.
Some key players as well. That turnover from the team that was so successful in the Clausura. Finished in the playoff positions. Went to the semi-finals before losing out to Toluca. To beat Toluca in midweek in cup play. So a little bit of revenge extracted there for Xolos. Ronaldo going back for Marcone. And was that a stray elbow? The referee's going to go to the pocket. It's a yellow card for Velasquez, who he's not happy with that decision. Caparuccio, the man on the ground, just now getting to his feet.
He's been diving from the beginning of the game.
Will tell us exactly how much contact there was on this one. Checking his teeth, asking his teammate to check his teeth.
It's all part of the act.
Difficult to come in mid-season as he did last campaign. From the start. It's a free kick in a very good position. Here we are going to see the replay.
Didn't look much to me, but it was a tough angle for us to see.
See the arm fully outstretched, making contact, but I don't think we're going to have any issues with Ap18 playing on for the rest of this game.
Just think about how much time has transpired since that foul has taken place and the time they get it put in. So this is where that's an advantage of Cruz Azul, playing on the road, slowing things down, drawing that type of foul. A good minute and a half has already passed.
Free kick in a good position here for Elias Hernandez. The wall does its job. In truth, it wasn't a very well hit free kick from Hernandez. It's usually a lot better from those situations. Ball allowed to bounce as both players misjudging it, and now the arguments continue. Now another yellow card is shown, this time to Pablo Aguilar against his former team.
I tell you what, when a central defender gets a yellow card early in the game, it always worries me as a coach, because there's often foot races where all of a sudden you're a little bit late, and now you pick up a second yellow and you get a red card. This is where you're going to need to watch this closely, and it's going to need to be careful.
Something so silly as well as he gets involved in the afters with Diego Gonzalez.
The referee's just trying to make an example and make sure none of that stuff happens the rest of the game. So he's the guilty in having that happen.
Smiling now, the veteran defender. He's had to play a number of games on the yellow card. Kashina, I think he's showing us a little bit of his tactics
yeah,
there.
I think he wants Marconi to be playing right in front of the central defenders.
So I haven't really been that fluid in possession so far. They'll have seen the results elsewhere this weekend. They'll know that they'll be top of the standings with a victory here. Gulo popping up on this right-hand side for the first time for Xolos.
Good pressure from Xolos.
Adrian Aldrete, that spells that America and Santos Laguna as well. Began his time in Liga MX at Morelia. The Mexican international as well. Ricardo Pelaez did a very good job just rebuilding his squad to make them immediate contenders after the struggles. 12th place. Tausura going through, and another player going down. And appeals from some of the Xolos players, and it is a second yellow for Aguilar, and he is off. What a big moment in the match this is. Not quite sure 3 minutes have even passed since he picked up the first yellow. They both look soft.
I mean, these are the type of things that drive a coach crazy. 21 minutes into the game, a player diving. You can see it here.
It's that left arm, isn't it?
Yeah, that's, you know, and a lot of these referees, you know, the law is if you have a hand strike the face, it's a card.
Not the happy homecoming he was expecting.
This,
now,
this changes the whole game.
We've already seen the tactical side of Kashina on the bench. Now he's got to rejig again. Imagine Marconi might be one of the candidates to just drop a little bit deeper. Only go to the bench. We see it again.
And this challenge right here with the shoulder is fine, but when he comes around with his left hand and smacks.
Does it matter if it's inadvertent versus something that was more?
Any hand to the face is considered a yellow card.
spoke to some of our colleagues and they talked about how well thought of still at Xolos Aguilar was. What a play to help in hand in them getting a good result today with that.
This makes things very, very difficult for Cruz Azul. We'll see how they adjust tactically. But more importantly, how they defend this attacking set piece.
Midway point of the first half. Referee setting the wall up. Rafa Baca, Elias Hernandez, a two-man wall.
On their tippy toes.
Fuentes and Rivero. Two options to deliver. It's going to be the left-footed delivery, and the goalkeeper has to knock that one over. It was on target. Fuentes almost scoring for the second consecutive week.
Luis Fuentes runs up to the ball. Clever strike with his left foot. Tries to catch the goalkeeper off guard.
Rivera was going to take this, and Angulo's going to come across. Another left-footed delivery option. Bit of pressure for Cruz Azul to withstand here as they try regroup down a man. Delivery towards the near post. That one goes over the crossbar, and it will be another corner kick.
Cruz Azul defending these in its own.
Delivery comes in, Corona comes out, that's commanding for the goalkeeper. We're going to see Igor Niknovsky coming on. We had spoken earlier, Kurt, I know he's a defender that you rate very highly, so it'll be interesting to see who comes off for Cruz Azul as they perhaps have to sacrifice one of their attacking pieces. Which you're losing out. Played in for Angulo. Angulo pressured well as Cruz Azul looked to come forward. Cruz takes a deflection, that could have gone anywhere, and it's gone out of play, and Cruz Azul responding by winning a corner kick of their own.
So look at Igor getting ready to come into the game. I don't anticipate there'll be a drop-off at all. I think he's a very, very good defender. Played for Necaxa last season. Was one of the better defenders in Liga MX. So he'll come in, do a solid job, but they're going to be taking out an attacking player in the process.
Elias Hernandez on the corner kick. Ball out towards Panuccio, the ball played back in. Manos, now potential break on. Xolos look dangerous after defending set pieces when they send numbers forward. They want a free kick here.
Smart foul. Break up the play and not allow a really dangerous counter opportunity.
Rafa Baca, the man who made the challenge. Who's been in the wars so far, the striker. Confirmation. It is going to be the striker. Ap18 is going to come off. He won't be happy, but one of those moves that you feel Pedro Caixinha just had to make.
Yeah, it's tactical. Just get numbers behind the ball, defend, slow the game down, look to counter. Potentially going to go off a set piece.
Looks like for now Edgar Mendes has gone into that central attacking position. You had mentioned, Kurt, you felt that Alvarado was more of a natural wide player as well, so maybe a move for him.
Out to the left.
Being dragged down by Gerardo Flores. referee. Almost a double whistle there, wasn't it? As if to say, we've had enough. Really niggly over the last couple of minutes. For the red card as well. Xolos goes forward immediately as an attacking option on this set piece. Andretti left-footed delivery, all defended again. Bolaños looking to launch a counter, but again plays a square ball. Once again, the referee's whistle goes in favour of Xolos. Coming together for Alvarado and Rivero.
There hasn't been a whole lot of flow of the game. It's just been a lot of fouls, a lot of disruption in the game, disrupting the rhythm. Strong challenge here.
You could argue that Rivero stood on the foot of Alvarado, but decisions have gone in favour of Xolos so far, most notably the biggest one. We're joining us late, Pablo Aguilar, on his return to Estadio Caliente, picked up 2 quick yellows. Cruz are playing the rest of the match down a man. Returned centrally in midfield from Diego Rodriguez. Big switch out wide, looking for Rivero, just too much on the pass. Good defending from Andretti, well positioned. Angulo. Bolaños.
So now it's an exercise for Xolos, just breaking down low pressure. They need to move the ball quickly, try to isolate some players wide. And they got to be smart to make sure they don't open themselves up to a counter.
Is there a temptation on the other side? We know we've seen the change from Cruz Azul for perhaps Xolos to go a little bit more attack-minded and try and take full advantage of this, or is it simply be patient with your possession?
I mean, you can see here they're already much more attacking posture. It's just when they have all these numbers behind the ball, it's hard to break it down. So they're going to have to move the ball quick.
Those are trying to get it inside, and Lucero, not much on the effort, but good approach play from Xolos down that right-hand side.
Yeah, some good ball movement, getting the ball wide. Ball gets played back to Lucero, and he's unable to get any real strength on his shot.
Back. Gonzalez looking for Bolaños. So far, really making that extra man count in the middle of midfield. Rivero. Possession given away cheaply at the edge of the box by Cruz Azul. Certainly haven't looked like a team with a 100% record over the last 10 minutes.
It's a difficult service to come in and play on. Ball bounces around. It takes a while to get used to it. It's definitely a home field advantage for Xolos.
Gulo. Delivery out to the edge of the box. One back by Juan Carlos Valenzuela. Mendoza. Nice switch. Out wide right for Rivero. Alvarado does well. Good feet from Roberto Alvarado. Now perhaps a chance to break here. Plays out wide. Was he caught after he played that pass? The referee allowing play to continue. Andretti have a go from here on his left foot. Does have a go, and it moved viciously, and Lahoud did well to readjust to make the save. Machina liking what he saw there.
Yeah, nice powerful strike from distance, and the ball is moving. Andretti strikes it hard. You can see the ball wavering because he hit it so hard.
Really did move, didn't it?
Yes, gave Lahoud a really hard time.
Bolaños breaking the opposite way. Bolaños tries to pull it back to the edge of the box. Angulo back for Bolaños. Chip towards the far post. 3 waiting for it, and the effort blasted well over. Well, excellent approach play. It ends with Diego Gonzalez. Very good ball across, and perhaps Rivero could have done better as well.
Bolaños has the ball here, just makes a quick little fake, comes back for a layoff, first time cross. Rivera back stick, strikes the ball, just needs to get his knee over it, get the ball down to striking over the ball. Cruz Azul playing direct at this point. They don't want to play out of the back. They want to try to play in Xolos end.
Still actually playing down a man at midweek as well. Complained we're 2-0 up in that one against Atlas. That one ended 2-2, so struggled down a man in that one. They have more practice here and they've struggled in this. Going to get a recap of the yellow cards.
Usually referees will warn players and they won't be so quick to give that first yellow card. A couple minutes later, red card and he's out.
I'm sure Kajina publicly will back his player, as coaches do, but privately he's going to be fuming with his defender getting involved in silly situations.
Yeah, you have to show discipline, and throughout an entire season when you accumulate more cards and then get red cards, it affects performances, it affects results, and ultimately that affects your season. So having good discipline is an important part of a successful team.
To the play for Rivero. Good first touch from Rivero. Still has it. Tries for the headed cross. Well defended. Julio Cesar Dominguez. Well position. Danger still not cleared. Nosa. Back for Rivero. Rivero with the cross towards the near post. And Rivero went down very low to get his head on that. Wasn't far away from making contact.
You see a lot of the service on this field are short because it's hard to get underneath the ball. That cross there was low, a little bit short.
Last time Cruz Azul started with 4 straight wins. Start the season was the 2006 Apertura. That's how rare it is for this team.
It's a league with so much parity and so much talent that it's a difficult league to go ahead and win 4 games in a row for any team.
Last time they won 5. Now that we're on the record list, was back in 2005 in the Clausura. This one has the fans coming into this one with high hopes, and it's going to be a real test of their characters. We see Marconi going in, showing his studs on that challenge. Chance to break here going forward. Lucero was well positioned. It opened up again for Diego Gonzalez, but just didn't put enough on that pass going forward. Fuentes. Lucero running in behind. Lucero gets the cross in, and Corona spills it. Luckily for him, Aldrete was right there to clear the danger.
Very good defensive play by Adrian Aldrete, just to come in and fill in that spot, clear the ball. See a good run in behind by Lucero. Crosses the ball. Aldrete from Cruz Azul is able to clear it.
Angulo with a left-footed delivery. A big defensive presence on set pieces as well, don't forget. Have to do it out of that. Strong defensive header by Marconi. Sure, Pedro Caixinha will be quite happy to get to half-time this way. Just regroup in the locker room. Angulo, been well defended on that near post area. And the chance to serve it in. And the question is, was the flag going to go up? Ball played in back over the top. It was Julian Velasquez who got a touch on it.
Nice first time ball in, but he's coming from a deep position, so when the ball's hit, he's onside. Oh, he would want to have that one back.
Is that what they call a defender's finish?
Exactly, it's a clearance. Just got to get a cleaner strike and try to get that on target within the goal.
He knows it too. That was a wonderful opportunity to open the scoring.
Smart, timed, run, position.
It's like scoring against the former clubs. Might not always celebrate it, but a nice timely reminder to your former employees. Marconi, possession away cheaply again. Diego Rodriguez. Angulo makes a good run forward, and the referee, this time the whistle's going to go in favour of Cruz Azul. Arado Flores was bundled to the ground.
Just gets caught in Bolaño's feet, trips him up, not necessarily on purpose. Nonetheless, it's a foul.
Angulo trying to get away. Cruz Azul maintaining possession. Here's Hernandez. Ball out wide, and Manga wanted the free kick. Nothing doing from the referee. Marconi wins it back.
You can see Marconi gets in good spots to win balls. He's going to be a little cleaner with his passing.
We're going to have to get back in defensively here. Bolaños trying to get in between the two centre-backs. Defending on that occasion from Cruz Azul. Alvarado, and he was just bundled to the ground there after he tried to complete that pass. Needless free kick given away by Mendoza. Now we're going to see somebody from the bench receive the marching orders. Never happened to you, has it, Kurt?
It's never fun. Not sure who he's sending off.
Doesn't look like the coaching staff are too clear either on who it was.
Alvarado drawing.
Yeah. Mendoza.
Alvarado's quick and clever. He also needed to foul him. Looks like the assistant coach has gotten sent off. A lot of emotion. Jobs on the line. You see everything's short. Players having a hard time to get up underneath the ball. It's a dry, hot night. They're unable to wet the field, so it's hard to get underneath it.
Aldrete.
Both outside backs for Cruz Azul have the long throw-in. See, we saw earlier in the game, Geraldo Flores taking one from the right side. Aldrete here.
Aldrete looking towards what is on the near post, and again, Xolos looking to break Bolaños. This has happened on a couple of occasions. Rivero gets it behind, and Aldrete was the contact there was, and the referee again is going to go to the pocket, and he produces another yellow card. I mean, a scrappy first 45 minutes here. Flipping both back legs there is what would be considered a professional foul. Stop that counter-attack from Rivero from developing.
Good opportunity here for Tijuana.
Angulo, left-footed, and again it's expertly defended. Mendes, the man who defended it, was trying to launch the counter-attack and just jumped up and caught his arm.
Another opportunity there, another instance where a natural bounce hits his arm. It's a handball.
Powerful player, Edgar Mendes. Started off on that right-hand side, but has moved to central striking position since the sending off of Pablo Aguilar.
So far, Cruz Azul has been really solid on defending all these defending set pieces. It's going to be a big part moving forward as the game fatigues and there's more and more of these fouls.
Gula goes short this time. There's that one for Rodriguez. The cross comes in. Bolaños. Clearance and nobody in particular for Cruz Azul. Rivero. Gonzalez. Rivero lets it run for Bolaños. Something to thread it through and should go out of play for the corner kick. To the final minute of the first 45 minutes. Big talking point. 2 yellow cards for former Xolos defender, now current Cruz Azul centre-back. Pablo Aguilar. Cruz Azul are down a man. Better with that delivery, and the referee's whistle goes. Well, as we enter to the final minute, towards the half-time whistle, Kurt, your overall thoughts on what you've seen in the first 45?
It hasn't been the greatest half. It's been choppy. Obviously, the red card really changed the nature of the half. Just hasn't been a lot of rhythm, which happens a lot when you're playing on the surface. So it comes down to concentration, competing. And I think in the case of Xolos, if they can get the ball on the ground a little bit more and play a little bit cleaner, I think that's going to help them.
Going to have a minimum of 2 additional minutes. Some of that stemming from the players feeling a little bit feisty after a couple of the yellow cards that were given. Bolaños.
Here we go.
Nice ball into the feet of Lucero, who finds a little bit of ground to run into, and once again it's another free kick given away, and he wonders, the referee going to produce another yellow card? Yes, he is. This one for Marconi.
So Marconi sitting on a yellow, holding midfielder. As the game wears on, that's going to be something we need to look at closely. Aldrete, same thing. Marconi just clipping Lucero right here with his right foot.
That was cynical. He knew exactly what he was doing, Marconi. Going to see a strike on goal from distance. Corona setting up his wall. Should be the final chance in the first 45 minutes. Long range hit and takes a deflection. Didn't even get to a goal from Rivero. It didn't even look like he took a long enough run up to it to get enough power on it, but Xolos maintain possession. Bolaños. Flick ball in behind, and well, if ever a pass summed up the attacking thrust of both teams going forward, that was it. And there is the half-time whistle. Diego Coca and Pedro Caixinha going in at half-time with their sides deadlocked at 0-0. The big talking point, of course, Pablo Aguilar's red card. We're going to take a short break. Make sure you stay with us. We'll be back to take a look back at the first half highlights from Estadio Caliente.
Citrus marinated? Yep. Fire grill goodness. It's in there. Creamy queso blanco? Oh yeah. Introducing the double queso quesadilla, overstuffed with fresh ingredients, famous fire grilled chicken, and cheesy delicious queso. A pollo loco, fresh from the grill.